A state that's been crying out for rain has been soaked today. Heavy falls have been recorded across huge parts of the New South Wales coast. Much of it is welcome, but it's also caused flash flooding in some areas. Byron Bay was swamped, something many locals say they haven't seen before. And there's more to come.
The rain came as no surprise in Byron Bay, but the flooding did. Locals say they weren't expecting water to get into their homes and businesses.
We came in, it was like a little island surrounded by water. Obviously we had a ton of rain last night.
This is worse than Cyclone Debbie here, what's happened overnight.
The town received more than 280 millimetres in just 24 hours. Heavy rain and a high tide saw roads cut and some shopkeepers scrambling to save stock.
When we turned to work, we didn't expect it to actually get so far into the shop.
At Glenray, north of Coffs Harbour, the landscape was one of contrast. Swollen waterways flowed against the backdrop of blackened bushland ravaged by fire in November. It's a huge relief for people like Kay Cayley, who've just experienced the driest year they can remember.
Our three dams were really low, and this particular one here had no water in it, just cracks.
In early January, there were 150 fires burning in New South Wales, and the number of firefighters responding to them soon reached well over 3,000. Today, there are 40 fires still ablaze and 1,200 firefighters on the ground. The rain is welcome on fire grounds, but doesn't come without risk.
We're concerned about landslips. In some places, there's not a lot of vegetation around to stabilise the slopes.
Back in Byron, business owners are staying vigilant with more rain on the horizon.
Get some sandbags to make sure it doesn't get in the shop again.
They hope floodwaters will give way to customers. Leah White, ABC News, Byron Bay.
Well, Sydney's also received a drenching. The city has soaked up more than 100 millimetres of rain. The wet weather is expected to continue over the weekend, and there are hopes there'll be some significant flows into the city's water catchment.
Sydney's North Shore bore the brunt of the torrential rain this morning as flash flooding took motorists by surprise.
It was way deeper than I thought it was, and car flooded, stalled out.
Brett McKenzie soon found himself scooping water out of his prized possession before it was taken away.
I do love my car an awful lot, but I'm sure she'll be fine.
Similar scenes were taking place on the Central Coast as SES crews rescued stranded drivers.
You wouldn't walk into a bushfire, so why would you drive through floodwaters?
Around 100 millimetres of rain has fallen across most parts of the Sydney Basin since 9 a.m. yesterday. More of the same is forecast over the weekend.
It's not out of the question that we could get another 200 to 300 more before the end of Sunday.
Warragamba Dam could see storage levels rise by around 4%. It's hoped recently installed silt gates will prevent ash contamination from bushfire-affected parts of the city.
We believe that with the distribution of that rainfall, we're well able to manage any water quality impacts.
Across the city, there were road closures and delays to public transport, although some still managed to take in the soggy view. Despite the inconvenience, the rain is welcome relief for the city after many long dry months of bushfires and smoke haze. There can be too much of a good thing, however, with fears the combination of the excessive rain together with a king tide could cause significant coastal erosion. Sydney's northern beaches were today preparing for the potential onslaught, and at Newcastle's Stockton Beach, 45 tonnes of sandbags have been brought in. The sudden shift in conditions seemingly difficult for most to get their heads around. Antonette, ABC News, Sydney.